Power, grace, and rhythm. Words that describe golfing great Nancy Lopez. An 11-year veteran of the ladies' professional golf tour, Nancy has won over 39 tournaments. She's a member of the LPGA Hall of Fame, a 3-time Player of the Year winner, and holds numerous amateur and professional golfing records. Happily married to professional baseball star Ray Knight, Nancy is the mother of 2 children. She was in the Northwest recently when the ladies' professional golf tour visited the Kent Meridian Golf Course for the Safeco Classic. And I had the opportunity to sit down and visit with this golfing legend.
Nancy, what are your earliest influences in golf?
Well, my earliest influences were my mom and dad. They played golf when I first started, and I started playing golf when I was 8. I would go out on the golf course with my mom and dad and really just walk around with them. And then I asked my dad if I could start swinging, and he gave me my mom's golf club, and I started hitting around the golf course with him. So it's really, my dad was the one that really influenced me to play golf.
You got going in the pro circuit, and during the first year before you won your first tournament, your mother passed away?
That's right. In July, I qualified for my card to go on the LPGA Tour, and my mother passed away in September of that year. And so she never really saw me win my first tournament. I finished second at the first 3 tournaments, and she saw that, but I didn't win my first tournament till January of '78.
How did that affect your game?
Well, it motivated me in a lot of ways, but of course, I know my first win, when I won it, it meant a lot to me because I know my mom, even though she wasn't alive, I felt like she was watching me anyway. And it was a very emotional time for me when I won my first tournament. I thought a lot about her when I was walking up the 18th fairway, and it was, it was exciting, but it was really sad for me.
How would you describe the philosophy and the style of your game?
Well, I've always felt like I've been a smart player, aggressive, and just really going out and having a good time when I'm playing, not putting so much pressure on the perfect shot, but working with what I have, and but just having a good time, having fun playing golf.
What are the stronger aspects of your game? What do you feel is your force?
Well, I've always been a good putter. Lately I haven't putted well, so I feel funny saying that, but I've just always hit the ball real straight, and I've always been pretty long. Years ago I was a little bit longer, I was a little bit heavier, and was able to hit the ball a little further. But now I'm hitting the ball real well, straight off the tee, and I'm hitting a lot of greens, but still not getting the ball in the hole quick enough.
What do you think it takes to be successful in the women's pro golf circuit?
Well, you have to really be consistent. The players that are out there now are good, strong players. A lot of them have come right out of college and have played a lot of collegiate golf, so their games are mature and they're ready to come out on the tour. So you've got to play a lot of golf, and you've got to, be aggressive, and just can't be afraid to win. You've got to go out there charging all the time.
For 1 year in high school, you played with the boys. Was that because there weren't any other females that were playing golf at that time?
Yeah, there was. It was only myself, and I played on the boys' golf team. At first, I could only play on the B team, the B squad, because there was a rule against girls playing on any boys' team because of body contact, is what they were calling it at that time. And there was a lady from the Civil Liberties Union that came to me, a lawyer, and said, well, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to play because there's no female team. So she brought the case to the Board of Education, and I was able to play with the boys on the high school team, and we won the state amateur in New Mexico that year. Because I was good enough to qualify. If I was good enough to qualify for the team, I should have been allowed to play, and I was like 4th or 5th on the team. So we had a good, strong team, I felt, and I was able to contribute that year, and we won the New Mexico high school tournament.
It sounds like it was a lot of fun playing with them.
I enjoyed it. I think that, playing with the boys, they were better than me at that time, and it helped to develop my game maybe a lot quicker. Because I think when you play with somebody better than you do play better.
Do you think that women can compete equally with men?
No, I don't. I think that men's golf and women's golf is really two different sports. The power of a man hitting a golf shot and the power of a woman is so different. Lots of times the women have said, well, we'll play against the men. We'll play from the women's tees when they play from the men. Well, then they're not really playing against the men. If they want to if the women want to play against men, they should play from the men's tees. And with that, there's just no way they could, hit a lot of greens from regulation, because the men, if they hit a good strong drive, they still have an 8 or 9 iron in their hand. And if we played from the men's tees, we'd have a good, 4 or 5 iron into the greens. So definitely a longer game for us.
How have your values or your beliefs changed since you've had to, say, move out of your community in New Mexico, where there are a lot of Latinos and Hispanic people?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that, being raised in New Mexico and playing a lot of amateur golf, and two, I think feeling the prejudice of a lot of people growing up and not really having anything given to me. I had to work for it all. My dad had to work for it all. Feeling the prejudice a little bit when I was growing up, I realize that now that I'm Nancy Lopez, professional golfer, their prejudice are gone. And, it kind of makes me mad, because I think that, I've always been the same person I have always been. And I think that, I had to fight through that, but I made it, and so did my father. I think that made me a better person because of it, because I'm not prejudiced against anybody, and I know what that feeling's like. So I treat everybody equally, and even though I'm Nancy Lopez, a professional golfer, I don't feel like I'm better than anybody else. I feel like I'm out there, I just want to represent the LPGA the best way I can, and I want people, when they look at me, to say, Nancy's a good person. And that's always been my goal in life, to just be good, because my mom and dad raised me that way. And they were good, decent people, so that's the way I want to be.